There we go. Everybody's live now. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. Hello, it factor. I'll just wave. Hi, Nanny Dodo. Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, hold on. Let me tilt this so my camera won't fall into my lap. Hello, Jacqueline, how are you? Thank you for joining me. Hello, Morgan Cooper. How are you? Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you for coming. For those of you who are new to my lives, my name is Angela. I am better known across social media as Ask the Nanny. I also I am a newborn care specialist, a lactation educator, and a professional career nanny, among other things. I have a company called This Jam Good. We sell exotic jams, should I say exotic fruit jams. I am also a parent educator. I am a nanny mentor and coach. I'm a couples ministry coach. Uh, yeah, I have a lot of hats that I wear. But I just want you all to get familiar with me, to know who I am, instead of saying, that's 18 Nanny, the woman on TikTok, the woman on Facebook, or the woman on Instagram. My name is Angela. Feel free to call me by my name. You can call me Ask the Nanny. My kids call me Gigi because Angela is hard to say. So they call me Gigi. So if you want to call me Gigi, you can do that too. Before we get started, can I get you all to give me some likes? Because when you give me likes, it encourages other people to come and watch the live. So if you all can do that on TikTok, just tap the screen a couple of times. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. And over here on Instagram, hello, Nanny Shards. Uh, okay, I have no clue. IVIIVIIX. Okay, I know there's probably some kind of Roman numeral thing to that, but my brain is not making it that far tonight. I'm tired. I admit, I'm tired. I worked overnight, Sunday through Wednesday night. Tonight's the first night I've had off all week. So I am here to talk to you. And if I go a little cray cray, say, Angela, come back to us. Come on back. You went off the deep end for a minute. Come on back. So, hi, Shars. If you are over here on Facebook, can you give me some likes, please? And on YouTube, hit that like button down there so we can attract some more people to come in. Tonight, I am going to be talking. If you haven't seen it yet, I put out a little short video today because I had a question from one of my old um, parents who just had a baby, and unfortunately I couldn't be there. She couldn't feed breastfeed her first baby, so but she's breastfeeding her second baby, and she was like, "This thing is hurting me." She's pumping. She said, "This thing is hurting me. It's making me swell up. It's making me do it." I said, "Okay, so first of all, your breasts are not the same size all day long. If you're breastfeeding, when your milk flows in, your breasts enlarge. When it's gone and when the milk goes out, your breasts decrease. So it just depends on what time of day that you decide, okay, well, let me pump before I run out here. My breasts are not full, but let me pump so it won't be too full. Well, you're not going to need as large a flange as you would if your breasts were, fully engorged with milk. It's going to take a smaller one because if you use a larger flange, and when I say flange, on your pump, there's this little disc, and it has like a little tunnel that goes in that tunnel. I'm gonna use my little teaching tool. Um, in that little tunnel, if all of this all the way around here is getting sucked into that tunnel, it's too big. The only thing that's supposed to be going through that breast pump tunnel, that tunnel that sucks the milk out, is your nipple. Your nipple will extend to go in it. If all of this, your areola is going in there, it's going to suck. And by the time you get done pumping, your breasts are going to be sore. And you're like, what is going on? It's too big. That's what's going on. It's too big. And then after you do it a few times, you get really, really sore. And you're like, this is too hard. I can't do this anymore. It hurts too bad because you're not doing it. You don't have the right size. It's not that you're not doing it right, it's that you don't have the right size flange on your breast pump. They come in different sizes. They start from 13 and go to 24, 26. Is it 26, 27? It may go beyond that. But the only thing that's supposed to be going into that little tunnel is your nipple, maybe right here. Not all of this. If all of this is going down the tunnel, you need a smaller flange on your pump because you are killing yourself and you're going to be sore. The babies, when the baby starts to suck on your nipples, they're going to be sore and it feels like they're biting you. It's because the flange, um, I should say, majority of the time, is because the flange that you're using is too big. You need to decrease in size. Okay, um, it's something very simple, but most people don't think about it. Well, you bought a breast pump, and it came with a one, so just use the one that you got. One size does not fit all the time. It may work for you, you know, in the middle of the day when you decide to pump. You're like, okay, well, I don't have much milk. This one works. Uh, or at the end of the day, when you're like, oh, I forgot to pump, and you're engorged, and it's too small. Or at the beginning of the day, when your baby has drank and you want to pump afterwards, and your milk has not, you still have milk in your breast, but it's not as full as it would be had you started out pumping instead of feeding the baby first. You need to you need to find the right one that's going to fit. If you turn that pump on and everything's getting sucked in, up, stop right then and there. Like, okay, this one is too big. Let me move down to the smaller one. And when you find the one that fits, you are more comfortable when you pump, and you don't have sore and swollen breasts. And if you keep doing that, it leads to infection because they become so engorged and sore, they start to crack and all that stuff, and then they start to bleed. And you don't want that. You don't want that. Thank you, Jasmine, for sending love to Angel. Okay, y'all having a conversation in the background. I don't even know what's going on. Okay, my friends over here on TikTok are having a conversation, and I have no clue what's going on. But anyway, if you have questions, please put your questions in the question box. Uh, Let me see, where's the question box? If you put it either put it in the question box, type it out in the comments. If you're over here on Instagram, please put it in the question box so that I can see it, and so that I will. It's easier to see if I know they're in the question box, because sometimes I know over here on TikTok, for some reason they don't show up. So please write your comments in the comment section so that I mean, your questions in the comment section so that I can see them. Okay, so Melissa says 16-month-old son starting to throw fits, like cries when I say no. Any advice? Um, just okay. Um, it's unfortunately it's age appropriate. They're learning the meaning of no. They're stretching themselves, and they are testing the boundaries. And when you say no, it makes them angry. What do you mean no? I'm your child. You're supposed to give me everything I want. So you saying no and testing the boundaries. Um, how about you redirect him instead of saying no? Say, this toy, or whatever he's crying about. How about we have this instead of that? This is so yummy. I promise you, you'll really love this. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But you have to keep using my three words: practice, consistency, and patience. Uh, 16-month-olds, they don't like hearing the word no. They don't like you telling them that they can't have it. They was cry and pitch a fit because they can't have it. But also 16-month-olds are easily distracted. So try to redirect instead of saying no, no, no all the time. Try to redirect and to something that he can have or something that he can do, instead of saying no, you can't do that. No, you can't have that. I said no. How about let's play with this toy over here and pick up something that, most kids like the bells and the whistles and noise, something that will easily distract them. Pick up something like that and start playing with it. And it will help to redirect him to another toy or redirect him to another food or whatever it is you're trying to get him away from. Redirect him in a more positive way instead of saying no all the time. I have a list of 50 things that you can say instead of saying no. Um, I have to pull that list out and I'll share it with you all. I'll pull it out and share with you all next week. Um, when to get rid of the playpen. So, what are you using the playpen for? Because some people use the playpen as a holding area for when you got to go to the bathroom or you're cooking or you need a moment to yourself to go change the laundry, whatever the case may be, or go answer the door or whatever it is that you need to do for a few minutes. Some people use the pack and play or the playpen. They carry it with them on trips, and that's where the baby sleeps, because it's more of a crib because you don't know if where you're going has a crib. So tell me what you're using the playpen for. It's a big area where he plays when we need. Oh, you talking about? I'm thinking you're talking about the pack and play playpen. You're talking about the play yard. Looking for toy suggestions for. Hold on. Stimulation for newborns. Hold on. When do you get rid of the playpen? Um, like I said, let me see. I think you answered me. It's a big area where he plays when he needs to do something. Um, when we need to do something. Well, you get rid of the playpen when you trust him to be able to play by himself and not roam around and get into things. That's when you get rid of the playpen. Your child, your child, you know your child's capabilities of quote unquote staying out of trouble. Um, Not messing with the electrical sockets, not sneaking to put something in his mouth that doesn't belong in his mouth. You know those limitations of your child. So if you still don't trust him to stay in his area, then keep the playpen. We have gates, and if I'm washing the dishes and she's in her playroom, I close the gate because everything in her playroom is for her. Now there are electrical sockets that we have closed, push the little uh, safety. What are those things called? The safety. We put the little safety things in the sockets, but she likes to play with them, or she likes to test her limits. So that's why we keep the gate closed. so she won't roam down the hallway and go into daddy's office or go into mommy's office when they are at work, quote unquote, because they both work from home. But I keep her contained and I keep her entertained. So if that playpen area is like, uh, you don't have, it's like your gated area, then keep using your gated area so that you can keep your child safe. And my little girl is 16, 17 months old, and we have gates. It's a must. We have gates because she was just she's so quiet and quick. She just slip right through and just wreak havoc. And there's a dog there too, so we don't want her getting into the dog bowl. We don't want to get her into anything because she will pick up food off the floor. If the dog wastes some food on the floor before we get to it, she'll pick it up. And most of the time she's good about giving it to us, but sometimes she's like turns away and tries to eat it. Not a good thing. Okay, so hi Fibro Nanny, how are you? Hi British Nanny in Oz. Hello, hello. Hi Betsy, how are you? Miss Artillery, thank you. Hello Talia, thank you for joining me. I'm doing great. I'm tired, but I'm great. I'm here. Hello Angela, how are you? Uh, okay, so I'm going to go start this way, and I'm coming to you next, Angela. Uh, we do safe space, pack and play, one infant at a time for nap time, and an infant nanny share. Oh, okay. So each infant learns to wait. Oh, okay. One infant at a time, so they learn to wait. Okay, cool. I like that. I like that. Uh, you're sick but pulling through. Oh no, I'm so sorry that you're sick. Please get better soon. Please, please, please get better soon. I don't like it when people get sick. Just join in for a little bit, then I've got housework to do. I totally understand, British Nanny and Oz. I totally understand. Okay, Angela says colicky baby that is happy until they are placed on their back will only sleep the last few days on will only sleep the last few days on tummy, but that's not safe for overnight sleep. And it suggests to help her sleep. Um, I'm not sure. When you say colicky, it sounds like the baby has a gassy tummy, and when you lay them on their back, the gas bubbles start going up and down and start bothering them, and they just kind of squirm and can't sleep and can't. They're very uncomfortable. Yes, it is not safe for her to sleep uh, on her tummy unless she can roll over back and forth and back. When I put babies down, even if they can roll over, I put them down on their back. If they roll over on their tummy and can roll back and forth, I don't rush in there to turn them back over if I know that they can go both ways, uh, and that they're safe and they can push their heads up and basically, quote unquote, save themselves. So, yeah, um, talk to the pediatrician. Um, I have had several cases as a newborn care specialist where I actually talked to the pediatrician, and there's this, there are different things that you can put in the crib, but those are special circumstances, and that's under the watchful eye, and it's under the doctor's orders that you put. We had what was that they had with the twins? It was called Stay Asleep, where it kind of tilted the baby at an angle. But I also had the parents sign a liability waiver because I told them that's not safe for sleep and that it would cause a liability for me. So they signed a liability waiver saying that we trust you, we won't hold you liable if something happens to the baby because we choose to use this with our baby. So check with the pediatrician because holding them up after they drink their milk, I usually hold them up. And sometimes if when I'm burping them, I lean backwards so that their tummy is laying up against my chest, and I pat them. So it's kind of crunching them from both ways, and it gets more gas out of them. So if you lean back with the baby when you're burping, um, it kind of puts pressure on the tummy because the body weight, the gravity brings the body weight down next to you. And when you're patting their back, it brings up more air and it brings up more of that gas off of their tummy, and it makes it more comfortable for them to sleep. So I would suggest you do that. That's a safe way of doing getting the gas off the baby's tummy and not sleeping on their tummy. Um, but have if those things don't work, there's different techniques that I use. If you look at some of my videos, you'll see the different techniques that I use to burp when I lean them back and forth, and when I sit them up and lean them back and forth. It uses the core muscles to push the air out and push the gas out of the baby's tummy. So use those methods to get all the air out. Also, if they're going to check with the pediatrician, because you say colicky, sometimes it could be a silent reflux. The reason is they're uncomfortable sleeping. So have them to check for reflux too. But mind you, most doctors are not going to call it reflux unless they're projectile vomiting, they're losing weight. Um, it's causing a whole lot of they may have just a mild case of reflux and not just that full-blown reflux like my son did. But because I've heard several doctors tell parents, oh, don't worry about it, that's just a little spit up. But to mom and dad, it's bigger than just a little spit up. So check and double check. Parents and I, Nanny, have tried everything. I do overnights and days. She's 5 weeks old and breastfed, pump fed. Okay, so try paced feeding also. If you are feeding from the bottle, try the paced feeding. Try a anti-colic bottle like Dr. Brown's bottles. I love the green stem, the options, because after they get past that gas, the real gassy stage, you can take the stem out and use the bottle as a regular bottle, and it doesn't leak. Okay. Thank you for joining me, British Nanny and Oz. I appreciate it. I will look after myself. I'm going to bed. As soon as I get done tonight here with you all, I'm going to bed tonight. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hold the baby up to your chest and steam with the baby helps. Oh, so you're saying to take them in the shower. The new mom has it, no sheet, and can breathe through the mattress, which is cool. A breathable. You're talking about a breathable mattress, Fibro Nanny, because a lot of parents are going towards that breathable mattress. You use Dr. Brown's. Great, great, great. But try the pace feeding. I don't know if you try pace feeding, but try pace feeding. Let me go back over here to TikTok. Sherry, hi Sherry. Looking for toy suggestions for stimulations for newborns. Um, Toy suggestions for newborns. I like to do the black and white books with the babies. I like to read to them. I like to use music to stimulate them. Um, I will do like the wheels on the bus, and I would just take their little hands and do the wheels on the bus. I don't really, when they get older, I do the big movements, but when they're little, I'll just take their legs and I'll kind of just exercise them, do the bicycle with their legs because while you're got them on tummy time. You might as well get rid of some of that gas. So I do the little bicycles with their legs. I do a little the wheels on the bus is one of my favorites. that I use, take their little arms and, just kind of go, just little short movements, not nothing big and grand, but little short movements that will kind of wake them up. I played this little piggy with their toes because messing with their feet kind of, alert, keeps them alert. I also like to, um, but you have to be careful with stuffed animals. I like to take the little animals. Ooh, look at your nose. Ooh, look at your ears. Ooh, look at your cheeks. Look at your chin, and you have hands. I just try to kind of point out the use a little stuffed animal, a puppet, or whatever to point out their body parts. Talk to them, talk to them, talk to them, talk to them. It's never too young. They're never too young to start learning vocabulary. So talk to them. Um, but yeah, I that's what I like to do to help stimulate babies. Uh, oh, that was ice falling out of the ice maker. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I'm trying to find questions. Please explain it's okay to stop before it. Okay, I saw it. Now I don't see it anymore. Please explain it's okay to stop before emotional can't anymore. It's a big playpen. I think we talked about the playpen. I have the same one. We still use it to close him in if I have to do something, change the toys in it. Yes. Rotate the toys. That's a great idea, Jasmine. Rotate the toys. I rotate toys um, because if you have a lot of toys out, there's too many choices, and that you just pull out everything off the shelf, and you got a big mess, and you're trying to put, okay, this goes with this toy, that goes with that toy. Minimize the toys. Get them a shelf. Put 7 or 8 different toys on there, because when you're in the toy room, when you're in the playroom, it I don't know about y'all, but I do not like stepping on puzzle pieces, Legos, blocks, whatever the case may be. And I'm trying not to break them. And when once they get under your feet and you're trying not to break them, and you fall, trying not to fall and kill yourself, and avoid the toy and don't break the toy. No, minimize the toys, switch them out every 3 to 4 weeks, and that way they think they got a brand new toy. So switch them all out. Make sure that uh, they're entertained and they don't get bored and just start throwing toys everywhere. If you switch them out, it keeps them entertained. It keeps them from getting bored, and they think, "Ooh, new toys," because they haven't seen them in a while. So that's a great idea, Jasmine. I honestly never use a playpen other than when we travel for sleep. Yes, I have used it for twins. I've used a playpen for twins because it's a difference in taking one child to the bathroom and sit them in a little bouncy seat while you do what you need to do in the bathroom. It's another thing to have two in there. Yeah, I have used a playpen uh, for that. I try not to use the crib as a holding area because that's the place for sleeping. And I want them to know this is not a place to play, this is a place for sleeping. So if you're using the playpen, if you're using the crib as a holding spot, please stop because if you want them to sleep well, they need to know this is the place to sleep. Uh, how to teach your 2-year-old to sleep by himself. Um, Sleep training. I do sleep training. It takes practice, it takes patience, and it takes consistency. Um, and it takes time. If they are used to one thing, just think about how You may have a bad habit and you're trying to break that habit, and you find yourself doing it like, oh, I'm not supposed to be doing this. Oh, I said I wasn't going to do this. Your child goes the same thing. To break that habit, it's going to take time. It's going to take practice, and they have to practice the good be the change that they're supposed to be doing, as opposed to what they were doing before. If they were not sleeping on their own, you have to gradually uh, put them in their room and let them sleep. Uh, gradually extend their time. When they wake up, don't readily run in there to go get them. Give them time to settle. Give them time to figure it out. And when I say give them time, I don't mean a couple of seconds. Oh, it's been 30 seconds. He's not going to go back to sleep. But if you give your child time, start with a minute or two. And know it's hard to hear your baby crying, but start with a minute or two and give them a chance to self soothe, to regulate, to like, okay, I can do this. And after that 1 or 2 minutes, then gradually increase it to 2 or 3 minutes, and then 3 or 4 minutes. And once you start gradually increasing it and you see they keep doing better and better and better, they're learning how to regulate themselves. They're learning how to self soothe. They're learning how to, I can do this on my own. I don't need anybody in here to help me. I can do this. So get that, gradually put them down. I try to put my kids down when they're sleepy, not overtired, because if they're overtired, oh, that's a screaming fit waiting to happen, especially if they're overtired. I try to wait until they're sleepy. And if you have them on a schedule, then it is easier to put them down because their body regulates to every day at 12 o'clock, I go to sleep. Every day at 12 o'clock, I go to sleep. Every day at 12 o'clock, I go to sleep. And you'll find at about 11:45, 12 o'clock, it's like, whew, their eyes start drooping. They get kind of irritable. And you're like, yeah, it's time for you to go to sleep, because their body has regulated to a routine that every day I go to sleep. It's my nap time. It's time to shut it down. So if you create that routine and you stick to that routine with your child, it will work. But you have to be willing to do that, and not 3 or 4 times a week. Well, he's just gonna be late today. It's gonna be late. Well, you messing up the routine. You messing up the schedule. You got to be is just as disciplined with your child as you want your child to be with himself. You got to be disciplined enough to say, okay, it's 11:30. I need to stop what I'm doing, feed him lunch so he can be in bed by 12:15. And that means, whatever routine, the lunch, washing hands, going to the potty, and then we read a story, we sing a song, say prayers, or whatever you do during the day, and then it's time for lights out. Create that routine so their body, it that routine triggers their brain and says, hey, we're doing this. That means it's time to shut it down. That means it's time to go to sleep. Their body will start to respond to it. But you've got to be consistent. You've got to be disciplined enough to get your child to do that. And the more you do it, the more you practice it, the more they will start to pick it up and do it. They may not like it, they may still cry about it, but they're more willing to accept the change when it's constant. How do you like with how you like with work from home parents? I'm a nanny too, and I'm unsure about it. Um, Spam babe, I have had most of my career as a nanny with stay-at-home moms. My first 7 years was as a nanny was the parents. Both parents worked from home, and they worked long hours. I was working 12 hours a day for 5 days a week. It was long days, but they were not work from home. After that, I had either dad work from home or mom work from home, and it's adjustment. And you have to sit down and you have to talk to the parents, and they have to know that this is the schedule we need to come up with. This is a solution to the problem. This is the problem. Here's my suggestion to the as a solution. Don't go to the moms and dads without a solution to the problem, or several have several solutions to the problem. Can we try this, or can we try that, or can we try this, or can we try that? But you both have to be on the same page, or it's not going to work. I promise you, it ain't gonna work if y'all don't work together, because it just confuses a child. And I know children, when parents are not at home, they act totally different than when parents are at home. So their mood swings, their moods change. Uh, my mama home. I don't have to do what you say. Or they'll run to mommy, 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 like save me from the nanny. She's gonna make me do the right thing. Please come get me and save me. Um, I've seen it done. But if you and the parents are working together, what did Gigi tell you to do? What did Gigi say? If you all are working together and mom says no, but they come and say, Gigi, can I have this? What did your mama say? Did mommy say no? Yes, then the answer is no. I'm not going to go against your mommy's wishes. The answer is no. So you have to work together. You have to work as a team. Um, it depends on the age of your child. I would suggest you do the red light, green light. If they're working from home, they have an office door. Red light means nope, mama's working and she can't see you right now. Daddy's working, he can't see you right now. Flip it over to green. Okay, that means it's okay for us to knock on the door, not bust in, but knock on the door to see if it's okay if we visit. So, and you have to tell mama and daddy, red light, green light. I asked them at the beginning of the day about what time are you going to be busy, what time are you going to be available, so I can steer him towards that way because I know they wanted to see you. So those are the types of things that you have to do. You have to work together and you have to speak with each other and come up with a plan so both of you all can work together. So it's not just mom and dad coming out when they, to eat lunch. Oh, I just came to see the baby. And hey, how you doing? Oh, gee, okay, here you go. And they hand you back a crying child. And you're like, what just happened? I had them perfectly on schedule. We were doing the, and then you came in and it was unexpected and it just ruins the whole day. It ruins the whole vibe because baby's whining for mom and daddy all day long. But if you have a schedule and you have it worked out, these are the rules. This is what we do. This is when mom and daddy comes in. This is when mom and daddy stays out. When you have those rules in place and mom and dad and nanny are working together as a team, it goes much smoother. I'm not going to say it's going to be perfect, but it runs much smoother when you have that plan in place. Okay. Potty training a 2-year-old baby girl. Um, I would suggest that when you start uh, potty training, that you, when the child is interest, when the child shows interest in the potty, let them try. Let them try. Have a potty available in the bathroom, even if you know that they're just a year old. My little girl that I work with, she started potty training herself at 11 months old. She would get on the train a changing table and we take her pamper off and she go, psh. I'm like, really? Seriously? Come on now. Every time for 3 days in a row. Every time we take that pamper off, it's like she knew and she like hold it and she's like, okay. And you could see her eyes squinting, trying to squeeze something out because she knew we were changing her pamper. So I told her mom, I said, just put her on the potty. She's got one in her room. Yeah, just put her on the potty. Mom put the potty in the bathroom. She took her in there to the potty. Calls me. Guess who just went to the potty? Okay, I was just kind of playing, sort of. She went potty, and she's been on the potty ever since. She goes to the potty 85% of the time. I still don't think she understands the concept because she's only like 16 and a half, 17 months old. I don't think she understands the concept of all the pee pee goes into the potty. But when we go to the potty, we don't rush her. We don't, come on, I need you to pee pee in the potty. Sit down, pee pee in the potty. Okay, we're not moving until we pee pee in the potty. No, potty training needs to be uh, I won't say a joyful experience, but it needs to be a good experience in order for you and for the child. And like today, prime example, I could have just got mad and went off and just like, oh, she's sitting on the potty, and I bend over to get some wipes to clean off the toilet the potty. When she gets done, I go into the cabinet and get some wipes. I see in the corner of my eye that she gets up. Well, she gets up, sits down on the floor, grabs the insert, and goes all over her legs. And I'm like, inside, that's what I'm doing. But I'm like, oh no, we had an accident. So I get her up, I sit her over on the mat. I said, okay, let me clean her up. I cleaned her up. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and clean up. Now you sit right here. You know those little cushions that you have for your knees for the bathtub? I sit her on top of there and I said, give me just a second. I'm gonna put your pamper on. Let me clean all this up off of the floor. She looks up at me. She looks down. She looks up at me. I said, don't you dare. My mom like, don't you dare. And she's like, pee pee, pee pee, pee pee. And she pee pees all over the mat, all over the little cushion. And I'm just sitting there like, in my head, I'm like, ah! And I'm like, okay. So I said, okay, what are we gonna do is uh, we're gonna take you, and I put a pamper on her, and I put her in her playroom, and I came back and I cleaned up the bathroom. I did not want that experience. I didn't want to yell and scream at her, and then she not want to go back to the potty. You want it to be as pleasant of as experience as possible. And then when I said when we came back to the potty the next time, I said, okay, we're gonna sit down on the potty and we're gonna leave the pee pee in the potty, okay? And she's like, okay. So when you get done, I will take the potty and we'll flush it down the toilet and say bye bye to the pee pees. And she said, bye bye pee pee. Yes, bye bye to the pee pees, but you have to pee pee first. So I took her through the routine, and this is what I want you to do. This is what I'm expecting. This is what we need to do without being. This time you're gonna sit on this potty and you're not gonna pour the pee pee out on the floor and have a mess for me to clean up. I could have said that, but when you explain it in 2-year-old language, they get it. And she sat down on the pee. She said, all done, all done, all done. I said, oh, good. And we got up off the potty. We flushed it down the toilet. I said, bye bye to the pee. She clapped her hands. I clapped my hands. And we had a happy experience. So when you're potty training, try to make it a happy experience. Sometimes you may have to take a book. Sometimes you may have to take an extra toy to get them into the potty. Do that, because it makes the experience better for you and for them. It makes it easier for you and for them. And once they get in the routine of pottying, you don't have to take all this stuff to the bathroom. They go in, pee pee on the potty, go wash their heads, and come on out of there. It's not a whole big to do, but make it a good experience for them. Let them try it. They may not go every time. Also, I like to increase the liquid intake. If I can get them to drink a little bit more water during the day, it pretty much guarantees that it's going to fill up their bladder. And when they do go to the potty, we'll have more successes than we have failures, because she's got all this going on in her bladder and it's going to naturally come out. So you just got to time it, but I take her every 45 minutes to an hour, uh, because their bladders are like this big. So make it a pleasant experience and keep repeating. Pee pee on the potty. We do this, we do that. Make it a positive. Make it a positive, and stay away from the negative as much as possible. Because anyone learning something, if you're learning a new experience, it's easier to learn in a friendly environment than in a hostile environment. because you get frustrated and mad and angry when you're learning something new in a hostile environment. If it's in a friendly environment, in a positive environment, you tend to relax and pick up on it more. So just think about it that way. Okay, try the Newton mattress. Okay, we talked about that. Oh, for the newborn, someone asked about the newborn. Fibronana says try crinkle toys, and I'm thinking she's talking crinkle toys. You know the toys that if you touch them, it sounds like crinkling paper. That does stimulate babies. Music and texture toys for infants. What's the best way to get 9 month old on the 2 9 months on the same schedule? Uh, One wake window wakes up at 6:40 a.m. Other one wakes up at 7:30 a.m. I would suggest that you go somewhere in the middle and wake them up at 7 o'clock. Wake the second one up at around 7, so it's closer to, it's not 6:40 a.m., but it's closer to 7, and it's not 7:30 for the one who wakes up earlier, and it's close. Those time frames are closer together, and it's easier to stretch them both, one in and one out. It's easier to stretch them by 15 to 20 minutes to get them on the same schedule than it is for them to be an hour apart. So try later time for one, earlier time for the other, and try to mesh it in that way. Work starts at 9 a.m. Oh, then you need to talk to the parents about getting them up. That's a parent thing. And if you don't start work until 9 a.m., that is difficult. That is difficult. But you probably need to talk to the parents about trying to get them on the same schedule at the same time, because you will never have a break. You will never catch your breath because one is up, another one's down, up. And if you don't have a break during the day, you're going to go insane. You're going to burn out real quick. So you don't want to do that, fibro nanny. You want to make sure that you talk to the parents, even if you have to talk to them individually. You want to do what's best for the kids so that even if one is up and one is down, they don't have a playmate to play with, because one is asleep and then you're like, shh, he's sleeping. You're trying to keep both, one quiet, and then you're keeping the other one quiet during nap time. And that's kind of next to impossible for 9 months old, because they like, making loud noises. That's during the time when they discovering their voice and making loud noises and trying new words and giggling and rolling over and crawling and clacking everything together. Yeah, that's kind of hard. So talk to the parents about adjusting their morning time schedules. Teamwork makes the nanny shares and nanny positions work so well. Yes, teamwork. Do you have the airplane? Yes, I have the airplane. Do you have her? Yes or no? I'm not sure what that was. I use the time to use the restroom, cook lunch for 10 minutes. Okay, now, chamomile tea mixed with a formula, doctor approved, better to sleep on side. My daughter had bad reflux. Yes, VV, my son had bad reflux. The Advent colic worked better for us. Awesome. Whatever colicky bottle works for you, use it. I just like Dr. Brown's bottles because I've worked with them so much, and they hardly ever leak for me anymore because I know how to prepare them and uh, how to warm them up. Hold on just a second. Okay. I know how to prepare them. I know how to warm them up. It's easier to paste feed because I can see the little stem inside, and it's easier for me to paste feed with them. Oh, I like the red light, green light idea. Thanks. You're welcome. How to get rid of hiccups with newborns. Now, that one, I really haven't figured out. Because if you try to burp them, it gets worse. If you try to feed them, sometimes you get spit up on because the hiccup is coming up while the milk is going down, and just kind of, yeah, yeah. A lot of people say, I've heard old, I shouldn't say old, my elders, uh, about warm towels on the back of their neck or rub their chest, and just a lot of home remedies, I should say, not necessarily medical science remedies. So I don't have any of those for you, if that's what you're looking for. And some of the home remedies I don't agree with. So I'm not going to tell you that. If I don't agree with it, I'm not going to tell it to you. So thank you, Fibro Nanny. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so thank you, Desiree. Thank you for the headset. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And oh, that's a fun. I couldn't see what that was. That's a laughing face. Okay, so my time is almost up here. Thank you all for joining me. Um, if you haven't signed up, uh, had one little girl sit for forever. What is the max you leave them on the potty each session? Uh, Vibro Nanny wants to know what's the max you leave them on the potty for each session. Know the temperament of your child before you take them to the potty. Sometimes you have the procrastinators who it takes a little while for them to make up their mind. Okay, well, I'm going to pee now. Some of them have to talk to you. Some of them have no tolerance at all. So you go in there, you do what you got to do, and you come on out of there. Uh, if they are, as long as they seem interested in going to the potty and they're sitting there or they're talking to you or they're reading it. I've taken books to the potty and they sit there and read the books, and as they're reading the books, it relaxes them, and as they get relaxed, they all of a sudden they look, and they're going to pee pee in the potty. So it depends upon the temperament of your child, but I usually don't like to stay more than 5 minutes. 10 at the most. It just depends on the child. I did have one who had to read the whole book, but he was 4 years old when we were potty training. He was 4 years old, so he had to read the whole book. And after we read the whole book, then he would go potty. So, like I said, know the temperament of your child. Hiccups mean they are healthy and growing. Well, I've heard my daddy baby has hiccups all the time. Now, Angela, you're right about that, because you know what my grandmother used to say, when they have hiccups, they're growing. That means they're growing. And when you said that, you just remind me of when my grandmother used to tell me all the time, oh, that just means they're growing. I'm like, okay, but it's disturbing their sleep. Oh, it's just they just grown. Just leave them alone. They'll be all right. So yeah, I totally agree with you. Uh, my grandmother used to say that all the time. It means they're growing. Yes, and we want them to play together. Joy. Okay. Hello, Jessica. Warm towel works for the hiccups. Barbara Nanny says warm towel works. Uh, Best advice for brand new parents that just had a newborn baby, first kid. Okay, so the best advice is to ask for help. Babies do come with instructions. Hello, right here. A newborn care specialist will come in and help you overnight with the baby while you sleep. A uh, a postpartum doula will come in and help mom. And most postpartum doulas are newborn care specialists and postpartum doulas. I am not a postpartum doula, but I have learned to support mom during the postpartum period. I cannot, do what a postpartum doula does. I have several on speed dial. If girl, mama says this and this, this, and this. What should I do? So I'm getting advice from somebody that I know knows what they're doing. Even though I may know it, I still have to ask because it's beyond my scope, my range, my scope of learning. And if I say something and it's wrong, or I feel like, well, this will work better, and I tell them to do that, and it's wrong and something happens, then I'm responsible. But if I call someone who is a certified postpartum doula, and I only call people that I trust and I have worked with before, um, and I get advice from them, just like I am a lactation educator. I am not a board certified lactation consultant. So I can tell you about the breast pump, but if I'm trying to teach you how to latch and all that other stuff, that falls into the realm of an IBCLC, which is a board certified. So I would have to call someone, and I have them on speed dial. I have several on speed dial with them. Okay, this is what's happening. Mom says this is happening to her breast and this is going on, and the milk is doing this and the milk is doing that, and the pump is not working. And so what do we need to do? Or the baby is doing something. I call and I find out what's going on, how I can help. I eventually want to be a one-stop shop. So I can be that postpartum doula. So I can be that lactation, not just a lactation educator, but a board certified lactation consultant. So that when I go in, I can take care of the baby. I can take care of mom. I can show you how to do this. I can show you how to do that. I want to be that one-stop shop. I've already learned baby massage, so I do baby massage with the babies. I teach mamas how to do massage their babies because it relaxes them. And a lot of times it relieves the gas on their tummies. It's certain points, pressure points that you have in your body that relieve things and helps the baby to relax and helps them to be just mellow out. So it makes a difference. Um, oh, you do the baby massage too, Fibro Nanny? That sounds awesome. Okay. Well, oh, thank you, Movement for Change. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the gifts. Um, my 3-year-old is getting dental surgery in 3 weeks. I'm beside myself. Oh, from personal experience, because I've had a lot of dental problems since basically since birth. My baby teeth came in with a yellow coating on it, but it was hereditary. It's a lot of my cousins had the same problems. Um, have someone there with you. That's one thing. Have someone there with you to hold your hand. Ask all the questions, not just some of the questions. They're gonna be sick of you by the time you get done asking questions, but that's your child, and you need to know everything that's going to go on, what the procedure is going to be like, what happens if this happens, what happens, whatever questions you have. If they are uncomfortable with you asking questions and finding out oh, that's just a paranoid mom, she just, don't treat me like boo boo the fool. This is my baby, and you taking my baby under, you talking surgery. I need to know. I Two of my children have had surgeries. uh my youngest had actually 3 surgeries. He had his first set of tubes put in, and then he had surgery to have his adenoids taken out and a second set of tubes. So, um, yeah, I asked all the questions. And what happens if he gets sick? Will it be postponed? Will it do this? Will they still do the surgery? Will it ask all the questions? I can't say it enough. Ask all the questions. Whatever you do, ask all the questions. Um, they have been good so far. I'm just anxious. Breathe. Um, in for it's in for 5, out for 7. Just take big breaths. Breathe in for 5, out for 7. The oxygen gets to your brain and it kind of calms all your anxieties down. If you are on medication for depression or anxiety or any, make sure you take your medicine, uh, so that you can stay as calm as possible. Um, find ways to relax. I know that's your baby. When my babies were having surgery, I like to walk, and that's my calming mechanism because it gets all that adrenaline flowing and all those happy endorphins going, and it calms me down and it relaxes me. So the morning before surgery, I went walking. I was still nervous, but I went walking, and it helped to calm me down and help me to think better and think clearer, so that if something happened, and it did, uh, my oldest had his tonsils taken out and he had his adenoids taken out at the same time, but they had, there was a sliver of the adenoid that was left, and it was just with every heartbeat it was just pumping blood. And they the surgery was like 9 o'clock that morning, and around 2 o'clock that afternoon, they had to go back in and do a second surgery because, they had to go in there and get that sliver adenoid that was there, because it was, I mean, literally, he was just bleeding all over the place. He would sneeze, and it was like, and you know how you sneeze and a little bit of spittle comes out. This was all blood coming out of him. So, and I'm sorry, this is gory, but I had to keep my cool. I had to keep my, uh I was nervous, I was anxious. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Ask all the questions, because the doctor had literally left the hospital and they had to call him back, because the nurse, I said, so this is normal. Uh, somebody tell me something. I'm gonna keep asking questions until you answer my questions. I said, yes, I sound like a paranoid mama, but this mama today, you gonna answer my questions. Sometimes you have to be the rattling wheel, because my mama taught me this too. A rattling wheel gets a lot of attention. Be the rattling wheel. And if you are anxious, mom, let them know I am anxious, so I'm going to ask you questions, so you be prepared to answer my questions, or else I'm going to continue to ask them until I'm satisfied that you have thoroughly answered my question. And that will get them going too. Just be honest with them. They know if they are worth their weight in gold working with your child, then they know parents, especially mamas, get anxious. And we ask questions, and we may think irrationally, or we may lash out because have no control over what you're doing to our child, or we have no control over, you know, something went left and y'all need to go in there and take it back to the right. We have no control over that. And our emotions and our feelings get wrapped up in it. So you need to be able to answer my questions. That's the least you can do, is answer my questions and make me feel comfortable in what you're doing to my child. So that's my suggestion. Fibronana says, I have anxiety, uh, insight timer app. I have anxiety insight timer app. Listen, a peaceful, guided, or not will help with anxiety and relaxing your mind. Yes, I like, doing the surgery. Just sounds of the ocean. Um, it's not necessarily yoga music, but it's like the night of the relaxing music that I put on when I put my kids to sleep. It's those type of songs that just keep me uh, while I'm sitting there waiting. Or um, now I'll listen to an audible book while I'm waiting because it distracts me from what's actually going on until I absolutely have to know. Okay, I see the doctor. I'm like, okay, I'm listening. I got my earplugs out. What's going on? Until then, so I won't worry myself to death. I put my earplugs in. I'm listening to a story. It's a way of escaping from that moment until I have to come back to reality. That relaxes me. Hello, 555 miles per hour. Triplet story. How are you? Thanks for joining me. I hate to say it, but I'm getting ready to get off of here. I've been on here. I'm 10 minutes overdue. But again, thank you all for joining me. If you haven't signed up for the Empowered Mamas group sessions, um, I have 4 or 5 ladies signed up for Sunday. Nobody signed up for Saturday yet. But if you want to sign up for this weekend, we're doing tantrums and calming techniques. Uh, the Sunday class uh, is where everybody's going to be. Uh, And I apologize to those of you who showed, well, last weekend was Mother's Day, and I don't know what I was thinking about by planning classes on that Saturday and Sunday, group sessions on that Saturday and Sunday. So I apologize to you all who wanted to come to that one. We will be doing that topic, the biting and hitting. We'll be doing it again soon, but it'll probably be a couple of months before we do it again. But this Saturday and Sunday, we're doing temper tantrums and calming techniques. So if you haven't signed up, please go to the link in my bio, the link tree link in my bio, and it says Empowered Mamas Group Sessions and sign up. If you want to, Sunday is filling up. So if you want to get in on Sunday class and meet some other moms, please come on Sunday. Like I said, yes, I'm doing them on Zoom, Fibro Nanny. If you are a nanny, it doesn't necessarily mean that because my parents, my nanny family, they called me the third parent. And you don't necessarily have to be a parent to be parenting a child. So if you're parenting a child like a nanny or a caregiver, foster mom, whatever the case may be, come, please come sign up because uh, it's not it's the Empowered Mamas group, but all of us parent in some capacity. If we're working as nannies or mannies, we're working in a capacity of being a parenting. So please come join us, learn some things, create a community around you. You are not alone. And that is my goal so that mamas out here, wherever you may be, we are not alone. We work together as a community, and you'll find that what your child is going through is something similar to what somebody else's child is going through. And you all can commiserate together, like, girl, does he do this? Girl, yes, he does that all the time. I don't know why he does that. Well, my little girl does the same thing. Oh, really? And you make connections and you find friends and you find moms to connect with. And that is my goal so that you all can come together, get empowered, and get encouraged. Know that you're not alone. Know that there's some other people out in the world that's going through the same thing that you're going through. And so look at my bio, click on my Linktree bio, and scroll down till you see Empowered Mamas group session. Just click on that button. It'll take you to the schedule. You can see what the sessions are. This weekend, we will be listing the what our topics of our sessions are going to be for June. So be sure even if you don't want to participate in any of the May ones, participate in the ones for June. At the end of the last weekend in May, well, the weekend of the weekend before Memorial Day was where I know everybody be on vacation then. The weekend before Memorial Day, we're going to do water safety. I'm sure that some of you have seen my water safety videos that have been coming out since the beginning of May. The young lady that's there with me, she is a swim coach. She's a lifeguard. She was on the swim team for years and years, and now she's teaching her own son and her nanny kids about swimming and water safety and different things like that. So she will be there as a special guest on that Saturday and Sunday to talk to you about water safety. Water safety is not just at the pool or at the beach. There are a lot of things of water safety in the home that we will go in depth with. That you don't think about those things. You're like, well, what? Seriously? Yes. So join us, join us, join us, and they will once you sign up, we will send you a link to the Zoom room so you can get into the into the class, the group sessions. Yes, one of my girls has zero impulse control. Oh my gosh. Yes, water safety uh, is definitely important. The triplet story. I had to teach her immediately to flip and float. Yes, that's one of the things that we're going to definitely be talking about is teaching kids to float, because uh, if the child is going down under, then more than likely, if they try to open their mouth to scream, it's going to get full of water. But if you can teach your child to flip over and float, if they're floating on their back, their mouth is free to say, Mama, come help me. Mama, I need your help. Just scream, period. Time a child is screaming and crying, somebody's looking. And not just one somebody. Everybody's like, who is it? Why is that child crying? Somebody go get that baby. Yes, they're all, when kids start to cry for help, it's easier for you to teach them to flip and float and they can scream for help than it is for you not to teach them. And I'm not even going to get started about these little floaty things. Yeah, but we will be talking about that at the end of the month. But join us on Saturday or Sunday for the temper tantrum and uh, let's just say comfort the what did I say? My brain is tired. For temper tantrums and uh, techniques to calming techniques. That's what I'm trying to say. Calming techniques. And flip, swim, float to the edge. Yes, yes, yes. A triplet story, Miss Triplet story. Yes, you already know. Are you able to help with older children, 6 years old? Yes, but that's not my specialty. My specialty is 3 and under, but I can help with children that are older because I have children of my own that are 30 some years old. And I have grandchildren that my youngest is 6 years. My youngest grandchild is 6 years old right now. So, yes, I can help with uh, older children, but my specialty again is infants and toddlers. And now I have spent another 10 minutes. I gotta go, y'all. I gotta eat, take a shower, get into bed at a reasonable hour because, like I said, I've been up and now I'm starting to get stopped up. I have allergies and the air conditioning just came on, the vent. So my voice is going out. I'm getting stopped up. So I'm going to get off of here. And you all have a wonderful rest of the week. Do something for yourselves over the weekend. I don't care if it's go buy your ice cream cone or, just watch your favorite movie. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Jazz loves bubble tea. Uh, I've never tried bubble tea. Is it good? I've never had bubble tea. I've always been curious about it, but I don't know. I have a texture, my textures on my tongue. Some things I'm just like, I don't know about that. So, uh, I hello Rashida. Thank you for joining me. I will talk to you all next week. Um, so you all have a great week, and I'll see you right here next Thursday. Same bat time, same bat channel, and you all have a great one.